Oh, I wonder what this is.
Oh man, can you figure it out?
Probably.
I see a crow.
Uh-huh. Everybody watching this video already knows because it's going to be in the description. Hey everybody, welcome to this. It's a extra long video podcast that we're doing because we were gone for a while because of the hurricane.
Yeah, that
And
was a
we're
fun
probably
time.
going to have to go away again because there's another
Because
one
of
coming.
the other hurricane. I don't know, we
Yeah.
probably will be okay, but we don't want to say too much yet. We don't want to jinx ourselves.
We should do something during the hurricane.
Oh,
the next one that
is this
comes.
Armored Core?
It is Armored Core.
Oh, okay.
This is Armored Core 3.
I loved Armored Core.
Yeah. We were gonna do Dark Souls, but for some reason we just couldn't.
We got sidetracked. We started talking about presidents.
We got
Yeah.
sidetracked and stuff. So instead
lot.
we're doing Armored Core, which is fair enough to be like Dark Souls because it's also made by From Software.
That's true.
As opposed, and what's the other series they made? Kingsfield.
Yeah, Kingsfield.
Yeah, I think it was just pretty much these three, as for like franchises that they've been a part of.
They had like a lot of side ones too, but
So this is good. You've played Armored Core before, also?
yeah, like I can't remember which one it was. It was a long time ago. It was on PS1.
Yeah. This is
Long
the
time
PS2.
Okay, so I didn't play this one.
Okay, this is Armored Core 3. This was the first one that I played, and I don't know if I liked it the best just because it was the first one, or I don't know. But I always like this one the most. And it's just like straight, either you can do straight missions, or you can do the arena battles, or you can do multiplayer.
Yeah.
And you build up. Yeah, Eric, have you ever played any Armored Cores?
I've played games similar to Armored Core, but not Armored Core.
What games are similar to Armored Core?
Let's see, Custom Robo, Mech
Never heard of
Warrior, Omega Boost.
I've heard of Mech Warrior. Is Mech Warrior the one where you have to have the $200
the big
controller?
fucking console.
Yeah.
You
played
betcha.
that?
That one's
Yeah.
that one's Steel Battalion.
Oh, yeah, I played that
Yeah,
one.
Steel
I
Battalion.
played that one too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had a buddy who had that in high school.
Oh man, I'm jealous.
yeah. No, I wanted to play that so
Yeah,
bad.
that looked badass, but there's no way that I'm gonna.
Apparently, it had like zero practicality.
Yeah.
As far as like as a peripheral went.
Well, yeah, because you can only use it for one game,
Yeah.
and most of the things on it only did one or two things that could have like easily been prescribed to, a controller or a function key or hold shift and press.
Right.
But whatever.
I mean, thematically, it was like perfect.
It's the idea of either you sell, 200,000 copies at $10 a piece, or you sell 10 copies at, $200,000 a piece.
$200,000.
Well, yeah, I guess I probably should have phrased that.
Is that the
differently in
one
my
that
head.
comes with the actual big fucking robot?
Yeah,
I
you
would
can only
hope.
get it in Japan,
Yeah, because of course.
but it only works for every 30 minutes, and then you have to play pachinko for 15 minutes to unlock the next 30 minutes.
I don't suppose you can bring that over here and mod it. It probably wouldn't work after that.
Well, no, because we don't have any pachinko machines.
Of course we do.
Where?
I'm sure there are some in some of our more casino-populated parts of our
I was going to
nation.
play this with Mitchell. Ignore everything that's happening on the screen.
Mitchell's not here.
Mitchell's not here because his wife is sick. Feel better, Miranda.
Is this? Are you putting in Mitch bitch?
I think I am.
He's not. He's not even.
He's not even.
here.
Well, I can't stop it now. This is
Yeah.
a pre-recorded video. So, gotcha.
So we're doing it again.
Yep. No, now it's just one or something. I don't remember what his name was. I think I just made some symbols. Yeah. This isn't important. Your pilot
It's
name will
not.
never come up in the story.
You're Double Diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Double Diamond's not bad.
Nope. Don't like it.
What? Aries. Aries. Delta Aries.
That sounds more like me.
I like that better.
Nope. Fuck it.
What?
No, we need symmetry.
It's still Aries. Delta Aries. There we go. I like it.
It wasn't as symmetrical the first time.
It's better now.
One entity
Yeah.
ruled
Here's
the
your
world.
story. It's
It was
stupid.
simply called the
Well,
control.
let's just fucking talk through it or
The
pick it
controller
apart
handled
or
the major
do
decisions
what
of
we do
everyone's
best
life.
and just are
People
snarky
took it
internet
for granted
assholes.
that the controller would handle every aspect of their lives for them. Under the rules
So what you got?
That shit.
I mean, they're saying the controller a lot.
Mhm.
Sounds kind of meta. It's like,
Because you're holding a controller.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I think this is just kind of From Software's gag where they don't really know how to name things well. Like, as much as I love Dark Souls, Like the very first time I'm playing it, you know, that you're going through this very same type thing where it's an intro scroll going through the story, and it says a new realm, or a place ran by lords, Lordran, and it's literally the word Lord and then ran right after, and it's just like, come on.
Yeah.
That's not even trying. That's just putting the last two words you just said together. That's Hideo Kojima style writing, where you just repeat everything the last character said.
Repeat everything the last character said.
Yeah, you know, like how when I say something and then you say something, that's what repeating the last character said is, Snake. Press A to open your menu and view this information again.
You can also push triangle to skip all the dialogue.
You can, and then you just press circle and it'll skip all the way to the end.
Thanks for the update, Otacon.
Y'all are shit at this.
Sorry, I'm like,
Tony's just sitting here watching the TV.
Because I'm intrigued! And I love mech games. I like mechs.
Yeah.
Oh, this reminds me, this looks a lot like Hawken. You ever play Hawken?
That's that free game on the Xbox, right?
It's free. I think it's on PC as well.
Wish Mitchell was here. He'd have something interesting to say.
Would he, though?
Yeah, he would. Because he's good at this. Tell me about Hawken.
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 Why are you? What's wrong with the way I'm saying it?
Nothing.
Hawken.
Like you're hawking a loogie.
Got him.
It takes me a minute to get familiar with the controls here, because they're fucking stupid. I can't even, like, to turn left and right is the triggers. It's not any of the sticks. It's like, it's not, it's like tank controls, but tank controls for that 3D Tanks game for the 64.
I'm
it's
already,
those controls.
I'm already not interested if there's tank controls. No thanks.
But it's so much fun once you get used to it. And,
Yeah,
and
I'm
also,
sure.
after you get enough money, you can get rid of your legs and give yourself hover legs.
Oh, I wish I could do that in real
You
life.
can get spider legs too. And
Yeah,
like,
basically this game.
treads and
Remember
stuff.
our Fallout D&D
Oh,
campaign?
so this is custom robo.
This game is everything that I did to your character in the Fallout D&D
Oh,
campaign.
that was so much fun.
Yeah,
We'll do another one of those.
yeah. You hit left and right on the triggers, and your character will look up and down. It's very strange and also unnecessary. I do like the melee attack.
I
though.
mean, it was definitely the like the Wild West of game controls until we finally like found out like, hey, this is how we should keep them formatted forever.
Yeah, pretty much every game, every first-person or shooter game otherwise has the same basic QWERTY. You know, I'm calling it a QWERTY. You know, how it's that same basic pattern that they all have.
Right. Like, as much as I like to rag on Halo,
I don't know why you would call it a QWERTY.
You know,
Pretty sure it would be called a WSAD.
a WASD, a WADS,
Or a, I don't know. I like to, I prefer to play my games on a controller anyway.
I call it QWERTY. I just make it the comparison to where they made it easier to type.
Yeah.
You know, just make it easier
A
to play a game.
standardization.
I don't know if I prefer the QWERTY keyboard, honestly. I miss T9 nowadays. I could type T9 one-handed. I can't, typing on a keyboard's one-handed hard with a phone nowadays because my thumb doesn't always stretch all the way to the other end.
Oh yeah.
You got that cooker's arthritis.
You're
No, it's just more that phones are too big.
you worked harder for
Yeah,
your
that's
texts, so you knew they were more meaningful.
Well, that, and you could just, it was only, it was a systematic thing where because each number represented 3 letters, it was easier to, look at it in your head and just,
Oh yeah, it's much easier
Yeah,
to do it while
totally.
driving.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the base of what I'm getting
What
to.
you're getting
Yeah.
at.
Is that, man, T9 texting was so much easier to do while driving because you didn't have to look at it.
But the
Don't text while driving.
But the downside of the T9,
If anyone's looking.
like the downside of T9 though is like you would like it would take so long to just type out like a sentence. Like I just became used to writing like 2-word responses to things because like I just didn't want to sit there for like 5 minutes like, oh my god, this is gonna take forever.
I don't know, 'cause I think that's just more what your phone was used to, because I remember, from what I remember at T9, it would kind of get used to how you spoke, and it would like preempt words, and so you could kind of
Well, I wasn't
make it flow.
I wasn't a big fan of the like predictive texting.
Okay.
I was all about like I'm going to type this out.
And for a small time there, I was really into swiping.
I still use
Yeah,
swipe.
Yeah,
some people still do that. That doesn't make sense.
I don't have it on my phone anymore, but I do miss it. It's just drawing from one letter to another.
Yeah.
That's all you do. You just draw from, like, if you're making a word, you just draw P-L-E-A-S-E. You draw from one to each other on the keyboard, and you just don't pick your finger up. That's all it is.
It really is the easiest way.
Well, if your phone is big enough for your fat fingers to not hit another button on the keyboard, that's the issue that I have all the time. Is that it's always,
it's
going
about
right
like
to the next of it.
90% accuracy. I can just put my phone up instead of sideways and just do it one-handed that way, and that's pretty easy. And then
This
I have
is
to,
shit boring conversation.
It really fucking is, but you're customizing your mech right now. That's shit boring gameplay.
Well, this was supposed to be to torture Mitchell.
Well, Mitchell's not here.
I know.
I thought we were doing Dark Souls, Chris.
It's still Dark Souls. It's just Dark Souls with robots.
This is Dark Souls podcast. Dark Souls mode because it's really hard for us to sit through it. Yeah, I reached for it.
And fell.
And I fell flat on my face.
You did better earlier when you were doing that peanut butter sandwich joke and you forgot about where you were going and you were talking about putting it in the microwave and then realized that's not a thing and then you put it in the VCR.
Yeah, it's even worse because it's melty.
I mean, in hindsight, that works, but
Yeah.
also the bread's crispy, though, so I don't know if it would fit.
I don't know.
Depends on
I
how
think
thick your bread is.
it depends on how long you put it in there because the bread could just be soggy.
This is
Yeah,
another thing that won't
that's
mean anything
true.
to anybody listening because they don't know what joke we're talking
Nope.
about.
What?
No.
This is. You're right. This is bad.
So this level, you gotta kill a lot of little things, and then a big thing comes out, and then I kill it.
Oh, it's a video game.
Not to spoil it. Anyway, Tony, how was your vacation?
You're getting shot a lot.
It was pretty fine. Went to Atlanta and Athens. Hung out with...
Hot Atlanta.
I mean,
That's what they called it
yeah.
back in the,
And damn if
the
you-
early 2000s.
Yeah.
Damn if they didn't get hit by the hurricane.
Yeah.
Way to evacuate into the eye of the storm, dumbass.
Yeah, I know, right? No, it was pretty nice, though. I don't know. I can't really say overly much. I didn't do very much while I was up there. Visited a park, walked around Midtown, and, like...
You go to
that
any
was
cool
about it.
museums?
Nah, I didn't really feel like spending a lot of money.
Okay.
Yeah. I did get a really good chicken biscuit, though.
Where at?
It was this place called the Federal.
The Federal
Yeah, the
in
Federal.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
The Federal in Atlanta has a really good chicken biscuit.
And it was like $6, which is like the biggest like selling point for me. But they
That's
have
expensive for one biscuit.
it was fucking this big. Like,
Oh, that's too
it
big
was
for a biscuit.
Huge.
That's at least 6 inches.
It was huge.
Did it come with white gravy?
I didn't ask because I assumed they had good hot sauce, but they just had Tabasco, and I was very upset about that.
Oh, that's low tier. That's
That's
shit tier.
super
man.
shit.
Do you
tier.
guys remember that Nugget in a Biscuit song I used to torture you with?
Yeah, I like that song. My
It-
little sister likes it.
It pops
Does
up.
she
In,
really?
it
Yeah.
pops up in my head periodically. It's catchy.
I thought about that the other day. I remember there was I've told you before, but there was a time when I was working in Louisiana where my boss, we were all in the back office fixing cell phones. My boss put that, and it's the chicken nugget in a biscuit, nugget in a biscuit. Yeah, Google nugget in a biscuit on YouTube. That was a weird sentence. YouTube it, I guess.
YouTube it on Google.
You can Google. Look, it's the same fucking company.
no,
Yeah,
Google owns
that
it.
is- that
Yeah.
is
Fine.
Shove it up one of those asses, and you'll know what we're talking about. But he put it. There's a 10-hour loop of it on YouTube, and he put it on for probably a good 6 hours straight while we were working one day. And I have never seen a room full of people break so hard as I did that day. As one by one, everyone like slowly dropped and lost their minds and left to the Nugget and a Biscuit song.
Like these people who have nervous breakdowns when a KFC commercial comes on.
Yeah. I still twitch a little bit. Like if they're like, because y'all were talking about it just now, and that's why it made it pop up in my head. And now I have the songs in my head, and I remember the PTSD, and I'm talking about it out loud. And yeah, it's a thing. It happened to all of us, and none of you were there.
I'm kind of glad.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
be.
I mean, I've tried subjecting myself to like continuous loops of things just for like background noise.
What was that other one that you liked a lot, Eric? That was or maybe it was you. I don't know. What with the unicorn, the rainbow thing, cat. I don't remember.
Neon Cat?
Maybe there was a song. No, there was. Okay, no. I've got it. Hold on, it's right there. My horse is amazing.
Look at my horse.
that
My
one.
horse is amazing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love.
yeah, that
Yeah,
was a good one.
yeah.
My horse is amazing.
You
That's a
did
good
love
one.
that.
That's a good one.
And
Yeah.
that was another one that had a 10-hour loop.
Yeah, because
Well,
horse,
yeah, it was just like a straight up
Yeah.
looping thing to begin
like
with.
it all came in the wake of Badger.
Yeah.
Badger
Well, it's
Mushroom.
the same. It's the same guy.
It's the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He-
Oh, Badger.
Yeah. He made a lot of things.
I guess I don't know. I kind of miss Newgrounds, but at the same time, I don't know.
Newgrounds is
remember
still
Web
up.
1.0, like before all this bullshit happened, and it was just message boards, and every now and then there was like some gifs on a page or something like that, but it was real simple.
Yeah.
And everything was just like flat matte backgrounds, and it's just like, I want to learn about Banjo-Kazooie. I'm going to go to this message board and talk to the 8 other people that have an internet connection, And I miss that, because the internet was fun then, but now there's too much, and it's too commercialized, and it's dying. And there's been so many articles I've read about lately that talk about how the internet isn't what it was meant to be nowadays.
I mean, pretty much any form of media isn't what it was meant to be. Like, television wasn't meant to be what it is now. It was meant to just be, like, solely
For education.
purposes.
Yeah, the inventor of the television, on his deathbed, regretted his invention.
Yeah.
Well, that's, so did so many inventors, really.
Yeah.
I guess it is sad that nothing ever, if you ever make something that becomes popular enough, it never really lives up to your own expectations of what it should be.
Absolutely.
Most
Just look at Tesla.
most authors, their books are usually thought about in ways that they didn't really intend. And, there's people like Albert Einstein that helped to contribute, the making of the atomic bomb that, would have rather not in retrospect.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I can imagine, like, a lot of, like, Hemingway's, like, books and everything. Like, you always get those English teachers that are like, well, now we're gonna analyze this story.
oh, absolutely.
But the thing is, I can guarantee you, Hemingway was just like, you would be really cool story about a guy fishing, and he caught a big-ass fish. Yeah! Like, that's it.
So are you talking about The Old Man and the Sea, or are you talking about The Big Two-Hearted River Part 1 and Part 2?
I don't know, man.
See, I really like Hemingway. I'm
Yeah.
pushing you here to see how much you know.
I don't really know much about Hemingway.
The Big Two-Hearted River Part 1 and Part 2 is kind of a interesting subject for that kind of thought, because it's a 2-part short story.
Heard you guys like American literature with your robot fights.
I mean, they go together like a perfect cheese and wine.
Absolutely.
There's really nothing more American than big robots fucking fighting each other and also talking about fishing.
And Hemingway.
But so it's a Nick Adams story. Nick Adams was a character that basically Hemingway. It was like a self-character, It was
Yeah.
right after he got out of the war. He was a young man coming back from the war. Nick Adams was, and the whole story is about him going fishing. And he goes out to the river, and it's him going through the woods and just the actions that he takes, what he sees, how he takes his steps, what paths he takes, how the trees are, what the birds are doing. It is literally the most mundane thing you can possibly read. Whereof it's a man walking through the woods going fishing. But it's like that on purpose, because the entire reason Nick Adams is being so attentive to detail with everything that he's observing is because he's trying not to think about the war. And in the context of the short story book that it was first published in, which I believe was In Our Time, which is a collection of 9 Nick Adams short stories that are interposed with little vignettes that are like war poetry almost, that he wrote when he was in the war. It's framed as a sort of this is a man trying to distract himself from everything that he's experienced, so he's so desperately trying to focus on the world around him. And you can look at it like that and really, really enjoy it. Or you can look at it how it's written and just be bored to fucking tears. And it's a really hard thing to do, and it's kind of the same thing that I feel when I watch No Country for Old Men.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because No Country for Old Men, critically speaking, is a terrific movie. But when you're watching, it's just so fucking disappointing as a viewer. Because it just builds up storyline after storyline, and it takes these things that first seem boring and then seem interesting, and then they may make them more interesting, and then they just don't care. They forget about them, they drop them off, they don't give you a resolution to any plot line, and the entire movie ends with Tommy Lee Jones talking about his dream, which he frames in the beginning of the movie as saying only being interesting to the person telling.
Yeah, I still haven't actually seen No Country for Old Men.
Well, not to spoil it for you.
I mean, I don't care.
Well, it's a Coen Brothers movie. It's a very good movie. Eric, you look like you were about to say something before I kept talking.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's pretty much the same thing with 2001: Space Odyssey. Everybody's just like, oh, build-up's so worth it, so critically acclaimed, and it's such a great movie, and it's classic. No, it's fucking boring.
Yeah, no,
the movie's really fucking boring. It's
the book was.
I don't think I would put Stanley Kubrick in the same genre as I would put Ernest Hemingway and the Coen Brothers in terms of like quality. I really don't. I think Stanley Kubrick is apart from, I don't know, half of it is he's very overrated. He is so up his own ass, and there's so much that he does that is honestly just like really boring shit to fill time.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what Stanley Kubrick's best work was. The first half of Full Metal Jacket. Done.
Half agree.
Okay, all right.
I think Stanley Kubrick's best work was his real life work in directing Apocalypse Now as portrayed in the movie Hearts of Darkness.
Okay.
I still like Apocalypse Now as like that's the best Kubrick movie possible, and I think that the Hearts of Darkness like really showed why. But you know, I like The Shining. I think The Shining's really good, but also I feel like he got way up his own ass in the whole like Apollo 11 stuff.
Yeah. It's not so much he's up his own ass as much his fans are, but that's just fans.
But that influences him to continue to be up his own ass, though, because he wouldn't have put so many cases of Tang in that cooler.
I mean, not anymore.
Unless
he's dead.
He was trying to prove something. He wouldn't have put that kid in an Apollo shirt if he hadn't have been wanting to give a little bit of a jerk off to the moon theory activists.
Yeah, which
that's on purpose. You can't. There's so many things in there that it can't not be on purpose. It's just you have to look at the reason why it's there, you know? Right. And I think it's just because he's up his own ass a little bit.
Yeah.
Because conspiracy theory is better than nobody buying tickets at all.
Yeah, no, that's pretty true, though.
But the Coen brothers are actually talented, I think. They make good, you know, movies that they try new things. I mean, Fargo, one of my favorite movies.
Burn After Reading, that was them too, right?
Yes,
that was a good one.
I did not see Burn After Reading.
I enjoyed it.
That had Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, George Clooney, John Malkovich, all fucking hilarious in that movie.
Well, I like all those guys. All those guys are very funny. I've liked George Clooney more and more as he's gotten older. I mean, I've always kind of you can't not like George Clooney, but as he's gotten older, I think he's taken better and better roles.
If I ignore what he and Joel Schumacher did to Batman and Robin, yeah, I like him. You just put all that shit aside.
Get the Batman butt hurt.
Yeah, now you hear this depressed tone in my voice.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get super
I didn't like the
broody.
comic booky movies. Because I don't like it when my governor of California says stuff like the Iceman cometh.
I actually did like Arnold as Mr. Freeze.
It was a good choice.
Yeah.
And then Bane says bomb every time he puts something down.
Why did you do that to Bane? He's such a more complex character than that.
Speaking of complex characters,
now
my robot is turquoise blue and has pink head.
I like Seafoam as a color.
Seafoam blue.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite colors. That is
I like it for like a bathroom if the house is on the beach.
I like it for like a old school Cadillac with back fins, or like a guitar.
Yeah,
and then it's got a white stripe on
I
it.
can totally feel that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'd have sex in that car.
Oh yeah, I'd have sex on that car. I'd
With
probably
that
have
guitar.
sex with that car.
I kind of figured that's where you're gonna go with that
Yeah.
one.
You're gonna get a gasoline-y smelling wiener.
Gasolini weenie.
That's why you just put a fleshlight in the...
So the robots in this game are actually really customizable.
Fleshlight in the tailpipe.
Eric, I know you haven't played this, but you can pretty much change you can do every single part of the robot, from your arm to your arm gun to your legs.
I
to
have
your
played
torso.
this. I played it when it was custom Robo on the PlayStation.
That's a different game. That's
Yeah,
not what this
but
is.
it's essentially the same. It looks
It's not
the same.
essentially the same.
It is essentially the same.
It's an entirely different
You
game.
described it exactly the way anyone else would describe custom Robo.
Nobody would describe Custom Robo because no one's played that.
I
I've-
did.
No, I've
Tony, shut up.
I'm pretty aware
Tony,
of
shut
it.
up. This isn't your fight.
I mean, if you wanted, I could go one step further in the obscure robot games and talk about fucking robotic alchemical drive.
Can you talk about it?
It's a
Robotic Alchemical Drive.
alchemical.
Alchemical.
Yeah.
What's that on? You should do
It was
a video on
it.
it.
Was on PS2.
You should
actually.
disappoint us with it.
No, you can't because it's amazing.
Oh, okay.
Like you.
'Cause I'm
You
already-
just set him up and he just dunked it right
Mm,
there. Like
yeah.
he said, I've got a response for this. You just wait.
But no, the you actually get to control the robot like a remote control, like car thing,
Uh-huh.
through the perspective of the pilot. Because you don't
That
actually
sounds
go-
crazy annoying. I
you
would much
don't-
rather be in the robot.
Well, you don't actually go inside the robot. You pilot the robot through the third person.
so you're just
you
on the
have to-
sidelines watching your robot.
Wait,
Well, but
You're,
you
you're
have
just
to-
playing BattleBot.
You're a kid with an RC car.
Kind of.
Oh God.
But no, like you have to actually go through the city to change your perspective. Like
So
in
you have to
real
move your
time.
car and then move your character and then move your car and then move your character.
You can move the character while moving the car. The
It's
robot.
like a dual stick kind
Yeah.
of thing. Okay.
It sounds clunky, but it was
It
actually
sure does.
Yeah, it
super fun.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was super fun. Like I think I know like 2 people who've ever heard of it. It's like I don't think it got.
Well, now you
very
know
popular.
2 more.
That's true. No, it was a fun game.
And we'll tell 2 friends. And we'll tell 2 friends.
About a game that came
I
out
won't.
like 20 years ago.
I won't tell any friends. I'm a dead end when it comes to sales reps. Somebody says something to me and it's in one ear and then dead stop.
And it'll never leave.
Yeah, it's there. It won't go to anyone else, but it's here.
I mean,
Now I'm fighting a robot in the fog.
yeah, I see that.
You entertained yet? This game, I actually got pretty into this when I was doing this record. Not gonna
Okay.
lie.
I mean, the Armored Core games are really.
I always really liked them when I was a kid. I remember something that I liked about them that's not really there. It has anything to do with the gameplay at all. But I always thought they had really interesting looking intro videos. I let the one play with the crow and the raven and then the fucking robots fighting and stuff like that. But I think Armored Core 4 had an even better one that was really well animated. And I remember when I was a lot younger, I would watch that on, like, I would be playing Armored Core and then I would just put it up and, but I wouldn't turn it off. The start menu would be replaying. It would just do the title screen over and over again and then go to the intro video.
I used to do that with a lot of games too.
Yeah, and it was a good intro video to have in the background because for some reason it kind of inspired me to write. And it was one of the first, like, background things where I wrote a very long form piece in one setting and kind of had on the background, and I didn't want to turn it off because I felt like it was helping that. And so because of that moment that I had with it, I've always kind of liked Armored Core in a more general sense, for no reason other than it helped me do that.
Yeah, I used to do that with it was Ace Combat. I think it was Ace Combat 3, but like it had, instead of like cutscenes, it just had like like an audio like narrator kind of person, and like it would show like stills of this like, you know, generic Mediterranean looking town, and it was like through the perspective of this kid growing up during a war and stuff like that. It was amazing. I still love that game with like a passion. It's probably my favorite like PS2 game.
Ooh, favorite PS2 game. Oh, Metal Gear Solid 3, for sure.
Oh yeah.
That was
fair.
probably the quintessential PS2 game, I think.
Yeah, that's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else I would say in
Unpopular-
that. Maybe San Andreas, in terms of like open worldy stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
Unpopular opinion, didn't really care for Metal Gear Solid 3. I was all about 2 though.
That is an unpopular opinion.
Very
Wow.
much so.
Yeah.
I have a lot of unpopular opinions.
Tell us another one.
I like Black Licorice.
Oh wow, yeah.
I don't mind. No, I like black licorice.
Oh, okay,
I'm down
I'm-
with that.
I'm
If-
out. I'm
I like
outnumbered
the
on
black
this
jelly
one.
beans are the best jelly beans.
If it's European or just any other country black licorice, it's amazing.
Okay.
American black licorice is garbage.
Okay, so you not only like black licorice, you like treasonish black licorice.
Well, I mean, I think
Jelly Belly black licorice is really good though.
I'm pretty
Or Jelly
sure
Belly, like black jelly beans.
all the
Super
American black licorice is like original recipe wartime stuff. Like
good.
when they had to cut back and
distinctly
ration.
possible.
It was like why would we change the recipe? Nobody's fucking buying these things anyway.
Now, are we entirely sure it's not African American? Moving on.
Black licorice matters.
It does.
It does. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's good.
and it's good for your stomach.
Well, so is burnt toast.
Is it?
I like burnt toast.
Burnt toast is good for your digestion.
I like burnt
Huh.
toast.
Yeah, I do too.
That's
Yeah.
good to know.
I like burnt buttered bread.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
A lot of people think I'm crazy for that. I'm just like, what? It's like the best. It has extra flavor.
Yeah, I like bread with a little char.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's
Well,
a
I don't
difference
mean
between
like
charred
black or anything,
burnt.
but like.
Oh no, I'll
but
take
like-
it black sometimes.
I won't go that far. I'll definitely take like.
and black coffee, black toast, black soul.
I don't
Black
like
heart.
flavor in my life.
Black beard, black dog, black shirt, black shoes.
Johnny Cash.
Black his
Johnny
house.
Cash. Yeah.
With a black little window and a black Corvette.
I'm black. Blah 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 blah.
Oh,
listen,
And so on.
No, I
just
can't
listen
do
to
that.
AC/DC all the time. Back in black.
Oh yeah.
You're falling off.
Yeah, I think I died here
Yeah,
because I
you-
thought I could
you-
just jump across the
I
bridge,
don't
but
think
you
can
can't.
do that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Help!
Uh,
No.
Oh, you almost made it.
You died.
Almost.
Yeah.
Leaving the area.
Well, at least they're gonna abort me before I have a chance to die. That's what she said.
Just like so many
That's what
babies.
the unborn baby said.
Before you.
Yep. It's weird that like if you lose a mission, I don't know. I guess it's not weird considering, From Software, but so you lose a mission, you lose money that you don't get back. So
Yeah.
theoretically, the worse you are at the game, the harder it is to get better at the game.
I like that even though you died, you still got a ranking.
Yeah.
This is like, oh, that won't do at all, Christopher. E rank, better luck next time. Oh, wait, you're
I am
dead.
Delta Triangle Delta,
Oh,
sir.
yeah, you're Aries, Delta Aries. Aries, Delta Aries didn't do so great on his exam. He died, so we gave him an E.
He'll try again harder next time.
E for eternal rest.
I hope he learned his lesson. Failure.
There's a fair amount of different levels, but at the same time they do end up making you go back to the same levels 2 or 3 times to do different missions, and I don't really like that. And you get it a lot in old games because they could only you can only fit so much onto the disc.
Oh, you made it.
Yeah, well,
Good.
I'm not terrible at games.
You're-
I'm actually good at them.
You're able to replay missions though for extra money, though, right? I can't remember if that was a thing.
I don't think that's a thing in this. For extra money, you can do the arena, and you
okay.
battle other. I think I do that in here a little bit. But you just it goes up. There's 60 something robots in the arena, and you fight your way up through the ranks to get to number 1.
Yeah.
And each one you defeat gives you money, and sometimes it might give you new parts and stuff.
Yeah. No, they did something like that with the front mission games. That was really fun. It was a turn-based strategy with mechs.
What have you guys been playing anything lately? I guess not, because of all the hurricanes.
All this hurricane business.
I
I just came back to video games today.
Well, what did you play today on your first day back to video games?
Well, I played some Overwatch until they started doing maintenance. They're adding the new map today.
Yeah. I played a little bit of Overwatch during the...
Chris is gonna fall asleep because
Overwatch is boring. Look, I know that's not... Okay, we want to talk about unpopular opinions.
Yeah.
Apparently Overwatch is super in right now.
It's really a
fun.
big deal.
And I get it. I get
really
it.
fun.
I see that it's really fun. But, I've seen this before. This is just Team Fortress 2 again.
Yeah.
I've played this game already.
And I'll still play TF2.
So why do I need to play Overwatch?
It's different.
Yeah. I mean, there's more than 5 characters.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay for just a multiplayer game. That's so dumb. Give me a single player mode.
They've got
Give
several.
me something I can do if I don't want to be online or talk to people or be friends or help a team.
Oh well, they don't have
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I do
You can
kinda
play
wish-
against the AI, I guess.
I
But
do
even
kinda wish there
then,
was
you still
that.
have to be on a team with somebody.
Yeah, I do kind of wish there was a story mode, but
Now I've got that game, Planet Side. Have either of you guys played that?
Yeah. Well, I haven't played it. but I
Or
know
Planet
of it.
Side 2, actually.
Well, the thing about you think about Overwatch, is the story's there if you want it. You're not. It does not ram down your throat like a bunch of other games.
That's true.
But I'm sorry. Continue with your Planet Side. Tell us about that.
No, tell us about your story. Tell us about the Overwatch story.
It's not a bad story. It's in the.
What's the story? You sell it to me.
Okay, well, it's there in the convenient format of YouTube videos. Yeah, all the stories on YouTube, or in a comic book if you prefer that.
There's
Nah,
also the wiki.
stop selling it to me. I'm already done. You're telling me that if I want to find out the story on my video game, I have to look at YouTube videos.
Well, they give you an opening.
What do you think this is? Dark Souls?
They have an opening cinematic.
Yeah, they're
Now tell me, are these YouTube videos provided by the
By
publisher?
Blizzard? Yeah.
they're actually.
Well, I
made
bet
by
they're
Blizzard.
shit.
They're animated shorts.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet they're shit. I want to see it done by Vadi Video. Get him to tell me the story, and maybe I'll enjoy it.
They originally wanted to make Overwatch an anime or a 3D feature,
Right.
but they didn't have enough money for that. And Blizzard's not a movie studio, so
Yeah.
it's like, let's make a game. We'll make the money that way. So
I'm sure they've made more than enough to make
More than
80
enough.
movies if they wanted to.
and they're still making animated shorts too.
Yeah.
I could use some animated shorts. Mine are pretty dull. And they're getting old. Like the drawstrings tied up. It's in a knot. And it's a little bit too tight. You know what I mean?
So do you want me to buy you some like Hawaiian prints or something like that?
As long as it's, good animation.
The kind that when you put 3D glasses on,
I'm
I want
talking
my
about-
pants to pop.
I'm talking about like 2005 coming from Korea Simpsons territory, you know?
You got to pull up an image for us for that.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
sure where you're coming
yeah.
from.
It's just The Simpsons.
Yeah, but
I don't know. You're identifying like a particular era, and I'm just like, when was the last time I watched The Simpsons?
No, I'm not saying any. No, the Simpsons used to ship out their scripts to Korea. A whole team of South Koreans.
Yeah,
are the
no, I
ones
know that.
did the animation,
Right.
and then they sent it back 6 months later.
Oh, okay. I was under the impression that there was an episode where they went to Korea and Homer
Oh,
had
I am
some really
absolutely.
weird pants.
I am absolutely sure there was. I am not doubting it at all. I was watching old episodes the other day, and there was the Bart versus Australia.
I love that episode.
Oh my
that one
God.
was like mid
The,
90s.
that one,
yeah, that
like,
was a
it
great
felt a little tongue-in-cheek throughout the whole episode, but then at the end of it, with the whole cane toad thing and everybody
Yeah.
just ragging on them, it just really felt like they were just giving the finger to the whole country. So I don't know what Australia did to piss off, like, Matt Groening or Algier, but what the fuck?
They
Like,
have
in retrospect, that seemed
a
unnecessary.
weird standard and practice system over there. Like, they actively ban video games.
Well, I know that.
A lot of and it's the same with TV. Is what I'm saying. It's like The Simpsons were considered crude and outrageous back in the day. Looking at it now, they're not.
I want
Yeah.
my country to be. Oh, that's not.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
American families should be more like the Waltons and less like the Simpsons. 1,000
Waltons.
points of light.
The Waltons were awful.
I didn't hate the Waltons. I kind of liked watching the Waltons.
My mom usually watched it when I was like, before I went to school. Like,
Right.
as in, like, I was like 3 or something like that. And so, like, she'd have it on and I'd be playing with Legos. That's all I can remember about the Waltons.
No, I used to watch a lot of back before I well, not before I had. I've never, for very short spurts in my life, have I had like full access to all of the TV that was available. So most of the time, it's been what you can get on antenna,
Yeah.
and what you can get on antenna in these parts is pretty much old as fuck TV shows.
Oh, yeah, like, what was it, like, Me TV?
Me
or something
TV.
like that?
Well, Me TV is what it is now. Before,
Yeah.
that's what TV was. It wasn't
Right.
even called Me TV. Now there's like a whole channel for this is the old stuff. Before, that's what was on every channel.
Who likes to watch 7 straight hours of the Andy Griffith Show?
Yeah, me. I'm that person.
Yeah.
Did you know you can find every episode of the Andy Griffith Show available on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Did I watch so much Matlock back in the day?
Matlock is good.
I
In the-
watched-
in the heat of the night.
I watched way too much I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy is a very good show.
Yeah.
It is a very
So
funny
much
show,
of
and
a
I think
show.
it still stands up.
No, it totally
like
does.
over time as a really funny show. Dick Van Dyke Show is really really funny. But Alfred Hitchcock Hour,
Oh,
I
yeah.
used to be in absolute
Yeah.
love
I've
with.
never watched any of that. I did watch, like, way too much Twilight Zone, though.
Twilight Zone, I've seen almost every
You
episode.
guys ever
of, I
watch
think.
Tales from the Dark Side?
Yeah, that
Tales
was a good
from the
one,
Dark
too.
Side is good.
That was a good one. Very
Um,
underrated.
Very, yeah. George A. Romero wrote for them before he got really huge zombie guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Didn't know that.
Good for you.
good,
Good fucking good for you, Eric.
For
You
no-
know-
for knowing
for
something.
knowing stuff.
Yeah.
why don't you take that information down to the trivia hut and make us some money?
Okay, you like that one? Here's another one.
Yeah, give us another.
You know why your fingers get pruny in water?
Why do your fingers get print? I do, but go ahead.
Okay. It's an evolutionary tactic, so you can have some grip.
It is.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's true.
I'm
That's
sure
a true
I've been,
story.
I'm sure I've been told that before, but I
You
just
have.
kind of forgot.
You learned it in school. This is something that bothers me.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so you know how you'll say something to somebody and they'll be like, "Oh, I've never heard that before." Yes, you fucking have. There's no way, like this, like in a general principle, normally most of the time, yes, you fucking have. Like you were taught this. We're not just the reason you're able to be an alive 30-year-old human being on this earth is because you have to be taught certain things. You have had to have made it to some level of education for you to be standing in my office talking to me about a thing. You know?
Can you give me an example?
No.
Did this happen to you recently?
This happens to me all the time.
Oh, okay.
This is a thing that bothers me because you say something that just seems normal.
Is this just sensical stuff that,
Yeah,
that's just
well,
lost
it's
on
just
some people?
like say, talk about how, because there's hurricanes out in the Atlantic, rip currents are more dangerous. Or there's just so many
Okay,
things.
yeah. It's a direct correlation.
Just something
between
that
things.
takes like a very small amount of brain power.
In other news, water wet.
yeah, to jump from I have this fact, therefore this, and so many people it just seems like can't make that jump, and it bothers the fucking piss out of me.
Yeah, there are tons of people who have trouble connecting dots.
Well, but it's not just that, because it seems like willful ignorance, because you were taught these things, and it's not, it's nothing that's like mind-shaking shit. It's nothing that like you should have been lost in translation for you, you know? Even like the fact that people have so much trouble with word problems.
Yeah.
Word problems are the same problems you see in, numbers, just spelled out in words. Why is that hard? Why is it hard? Because to me that makes it easier, because that's just more information. All of a sudden you have a frame around it to where it's not just this then this.
You can
but
paint
all
a
of
much
sudden
better
you can
picture than
do
just with a
this and
formula.
this and this and this.
I mean, some people just have a really hard time, like, visualizing the stuff.
I don't know,
Like,
maybe I've
instead of,
just
like,
been stressed out by stupid people lately. Maybe that's all it is.
Potentially.
They're everywhere.
I mean, like, some people, give them a word problem, they'll like, this doesn't make the slightest bit of sense, but then whenever you simplify it into like, an equation or something like that, it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
It bothers me when people that have like very high paying jobs, are very well off, are high in the community, and then you see like a piece of like a letter they've written, and there's 9 typos, and it's all, it's spaced wrong. Everything that could possibly be wrong with it is wrong with it. But when you talk to them, they act normal, but also when you see any evidence of their brain in any sort of proof other than the way they open their mouth, it just all indicates towards idiot.
That's why my handwriting is atrocious, so no one can see the typos that I more than likely have made.
I don't think that's a good defense. I
It's
really
a very
don't.
good defense. It's been suiting me very well for the last 30 years.
You ever had to change your handwriting completely just to appease a teacher?
No.
Yeah.
Oh man, my second grade teacher hated
To be fair,
me.
for like just
Your 4s look like 9s.
judgmentally speaking, I think both of y'all do have terrible handwriting.
You should have seen it before I changed it.
Oh man, I still haven't changed it. I just don't care anymore. If somebody wants to look at what I've written down, it's literally just going to be dumb bullshit anyway. It's like, why are you writing about orcs? Because this is what I do.
At this point, I just type everything anyway.
Yeah, I type more often than anything.
I
Makes life
still
easier.
pride myself on trying to have good handwriting. It's not like I'm sitting there, stoically making sure every letter is perfect, but I still do make an effort to make it small, make it legible, and make it look, as good as it possibly can in the time that I have to write it. But maybe I'm just weird like that. I don't know. I guess stuff like that isn't important, really. Except that when you're dead, there's only going to be so much evidence left of you, and if everything that anyone ever reads of you is misspellings and bad handwriting, maybe those people will think you're a fucking retard. But that's not for me to judge, that's for the next generation.
No one now is going to think I'm a retard by my writing, but people in the future might, because language will have changed. It's like, you're just so long-winded, Grandpa. Why don't you say LOL like the rest of us?
It's true.
And you say LOL now.
Not in conversation. That's dumb.
Well, I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I've met
They
a lot
fucking
of
do.
people who-
Well, they
who
shouldn't.
are more than happy to say LOL or OMG
Or raffle.
in, regular conversation.
They know that stands for things.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of just
I mean,
laughing.
that's a vocalization
That's-
of an unheard vocalization.
I mean, as far as
So, whenever I laugh now, I'm just gonna say guffaw, guffaw. Sneeze.
I mean, I like the idea of
cough, 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 door slam.
I like
To
the
be
way,
fair, that's a BoJack Horseman joke. Can't steal that one.
Noticeable scoff.
I do like the way that sounds. Though.
Annoyed look.
Oh, it's like the Elcor for Mass Effect. Matt, anybody?
What is that?
Which one
Are we
were
talking
they?
about the game for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, what are we doing?
No, not this game. No.
Oh,
No,
the game we were just doing.
yeah, where
The Elcor, that's the big monsters that don't have emotions.
they don't have emotions, so
Yeah.
they have.
Oh,
They
yeah, so
say
they have
all
to,
of their
like-
emotions.
Yes,
Yeah.
All
yes,
their
I
emotional
do get that reference.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get that now.
We are on board.
Yeah, I'm not a really big fan of Mass Effect at all, but
No one's watching the screen.
yeah, but
We stopped caring about Armored
it's
Core
like
a long
that.
time ago.
Yeah,
That mech has boosted its rockets in the air, cowboy.
They're making another one of those movies.
What movie?
What movie?
Pacific Rim.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
are
yeah.
they? Yeah, they are. They
Yeah.
are. Is Charlie Day gonna be in it again? Because I'll watch anything with him in it.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, they're not
I still
making
haven't
another
actually
It's
seen the
Always
first
Sunny
one.
in Philadelphia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, it was really weird. So apparently everybody had gotten signed on for 2 more seasons at the beginning of this year, and then halfway through this year, I think Glenn Howerton said he didn't want to do it anymore, and so they kind of started writing it into that. And at the end of this season, Dennis decided he wanted to leave and go be with he had a kid with a woman and didn't know about it and stuff, and she showed up, and that was what was written in. But he decided to leave and go be with them, to leave Charlie Day and
D and Mac.
Danny DeVito and what's her name, Susan Olsen,
Yeah,
right?
something like
Yeah,
that.
that sounds right.
I just know their character names. I don't give a shit about
Caitlin
their
Olsen,
actual
not
names.
Susan Olsen. Caitlin Olsen. Yeah, to leave them there, and then they kept stuff in the press kept coming up, and apparently Glenn Howerton just doesn't want to do the show anymore, and so they're probably gonna move on and do something else.
They've done what, like 9 seasons?
12.
Well, wow. Yeah. All right. I think it'd be time to move on
10
to
episode seasons, though.
Yeah, but that's still
It's still a lot.
Yeah, that's still a lot of episodes.
It's 100.
Yeah, but that's 100 episodes for I can see him getting burned out with that. Like, as funny as like the episodes are, and how varied they are, but after a while, you kind of want to do something else.
Well, no,
remember he was in that '80s show.
I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing.
He's still got a big head from that. So.
That's the thing. Charlie Day went on to be a pretty big star. He's been in movies and feature films and stuff. Danny DeVito's Danny fucking DeVito.
Yeah, he's
Where
a
else do
legend.
you know Glenn Howerton from except being fucking Mac?
Season 2 of True Detective.
No one cares.
Also, wait, no, Glenn Howerton is Dennis.
Oh, is he really?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was Mac.
No.
Oh, which one's Mac?
I
Can't remember his.
Roger, or Ron McElroy.
Okay, well, the point still stands.
Rob McElroy.
Where do you know him from anywhere besides being Dennis?
Like
I said, that 80s show.
Mac was in season 3 of Fargo. Yeah.
I still haven't seen either of those
Cool.
things.
I mean, that came out after Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like,
What have you seen Charlie Day in before It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, if that's the fucking stipulations we're using?
I've
Nothing.
Honestly, I have no
Nothing, because he wasn't an actor before then. Because
Right.
none of them were.
I
Because
mean,
it was a student thing that they did to just, like, here's the situation. I'm fucking 12 years old, fucking, it's summer break, and FX is having a special contest saying, send us in your TV shows and you could be our next TV show. And fucking It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia wins and shows up next year. Meanwhile, I'm still watching reruns of MASH because I don't have a car yet.
Why didn't we do that whenever FX was doing that?
Because we didn't have cars yet. We didn't have money.
Yeah,
we
we
were
didn't have-
12.
We didn't have jobs. We couldn't exactly go to our
We
parents.
didn't
like,
do it. We
hey,
couldn't do
That's
anything.
true.
I need a bunch of film and sound equipment.
We weren't
That'd
as
have
good
been
as
awesome if
Brendan
we could've.
Small. That's why.
That's
Brendan
true.
Small would have done it better.
Oh yeah, he would have gotten a show on FX like 10 seconds.
I hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird that, speaking of Adult Swim, it's weird that, Starburns from,
Community.
fucking, yeah, but, what's his name?
Dino Stamatopoulos.
Thank you, Dino Stamatopoulos. It's so weird that he made Moral Oral, and then later on, we found him again on Community, and then those two, like, things kind of merged into Rick and Morty, because it is, like, it's two different sides of, our, like, brains and humor and stuff like that, where it's the dark and fucked up side, that enjoys watching Moral Oral. It's the weird, this isn't right, this is strange, this isn't what people should be talking about on TV, but also it's, maybe it's good that someone should, but also maybe
was
just
very
leave it under the
human.
rug anyway.
It was very human.
Yeah, it is. It's a very human show.
Yeah.
And then you have Community, which is kind of the same thing, but also very meta, and it tries to have, it tries to find a heart in everything,
Right.
and wants to, at the end of the day, be good people. And it's weird that those two things kind of merged. And now, we have Starburns Industries, where fucking all the animation is done for, like, Rick and Morty, and it's just cool. It's neat that two things that you can like separately also have combined to make something that you also like. It's not something that you get every day.
Speaking back on Moral Oral, I honestly have to say, the pilot for that was fucking awful. When he raises the dead and everything, I was just like, this should never be a full show. And then it became a full show, and I was like, wow, this is going to be awful.
Yeah, they
But I was wrong.
really took a left turn after that
Yeah.
pilot, didn't they?
It was a bad
Well,
pilot.
the problem was, if I remember right, that Adult Swim aired all the Moral Oral episodes out of order because of sweeps or something like that, or they thought that this one was, or no, it was Christmas time when it started, so they wanted to do that episode then, even though it was episode like 11 in the track of it. So the pilot episode that you saw was really meant to be way later in line. And so it should have, you know, all those characters would have been introduced better or differently.
Yeah.
And it would have had a different emotional impact having already known all of those characters.
Right.
Whereas Adult Swim was just like, nah, this is the one that has Christmas in it though. Let's do this one. And but I think they still saved it and then brought with season 2. Like,
no, it definitely improved.
I mean, it's basically like once you see that 2-parter where they go hunting. That's moral oral. You know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you see any moral oral, just watch the part 1 and part 2 where he goes hunting with his dad, and that's the show.
Wasn't that the finale? Like 2
yeah, I think that was it was the end of season 1 and then beginning of season 2.
Oh, okay.
If I remember right. And while we're here on way long ago, Adult Swim, I sure miss Frisky Dingo, and I just don't get a chance to talk about it enough.
Yeah, it was really good.
Frisky Dingo was one of the best shows, and Archer is okay, but it's not the same.
It's a spiritual successor.
It's never been the same.
The Archer's been on this
Well, Archer's still good. It's found its it does a good job of keeping itself fresh by just kind of tossing out the script every year and starting over.
Yeah.
And that helps a lot. But it still...
It does make it a lot more digestible.
Frisky Dingo, though. Good Christ.
Yeah, no, that was a really good show.
For 12-minute episodes, for there only being like 20... I mean, you can watch... It's like 12-ounce mouse. You can watch the whole thing in a good 3-hour setting. But it is some of the funniest, most fucked up shit you will ever do to yourself. Also 12-ounce mouse. I love 12-ounce mouse. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
Nah, I didn't get into it.
I didn't watch a lot of 12-ounce mouse. The shortest miniseries that I liked from Adult Swim was only 6 episodes of it, and it was just wacky and out there and ridiculous, and it just poked fun at anime. Perfect Hair Forever.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect Hair Forever is one of the funniest.
I remember you guys always talking about that. That was the hot dog thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just so ridiculously wacky.
Yeah, that was a little too abstract for me, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I need a little bit more structure in my shows than that. But
Says the guy who likes 12-ounce mouse.
12-ounce mouse had a story.
Barely.
The guy needed a job. He got a job. It got complicated, and also there was an overarching plot about a universe creature, rectangles, sharks driving cars.
I'll have to watch it all again.
Get out of my way! I'm drunk as hell.
I still stand by my statement. Like, it barely had a story.
I'll make all of you watch 12-ounce mouse.
I mean,
it is the best show I've ever seen. And it's all done in Microsoft Paint. Giant robots, woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Microsoft Paint, woo!
Did you guys hear in the news about that woman that was pooping on the sidewalk when she went jogging?
The mad
pooper.
I love it.
That was what snagged my eye in the headlines. I'm not gonna lie. For once, the newspapers did their job. It was just like, yeah, mad pooper. I'll read that.
Like,
what's going on here?
All right, I'll bite. I'll bite and see exactly what this is, and it doesn't disappoint.
It really doesn't.
Exactly.
What
it promised.
Did you hear about the guy and girl who went on a Tinder date and they ended up back at his place and she pooped in the toilet and it wouldn't flush. It was broken. So she grabbed some toilet paper and scooped it out and threw it out the window, but it was another window behind it and she didn't realize it. So it got caught in between the two windows.
Oh,
So she had to crawl, and the buildings were really close to each other, so she had to climb through the window and retrieve her deuce, and she got stuck. So they had to call cops to get her out on a first Tinder date, and I think they went on a second one too.
I hope.
Oh, well, that's good.
It's pretty romantic.
I hope they get married because,
I hope
like,
so, too.
at that point, you have to.
Yeah, that's like the best we ever met story.
Yeah, like
the best ever.
Yeah, like
Best we met story.
So like that's like so one day with the whole like How I Met Your Mother thing, that better.
That's the finale.
Yeah, that's the finale.
That's the finale right there.
I like fun stories like that. Like, how much will you put up with that? Like some crazy shit that somebody does. or that some nasty shit that you have to go through to like not look like an asshole or like a weirdo in front of somebody.
Yeah.
I remember we were at a party and my girlfriend at the time was too drunk to get up or to like leave. She wanted to go home. She was too drunk to drive. I was driving. I was probably too drunk to drive also, but I'm gonna anyway because you're young. But she was like, "You're gonna have to carry me down the stairs," and so I did. But she threw up because of the motion of jostling up and down the stairs, and so she threw up down my back. And I just remember like feeling it and stopping and looking at her and just being like, "It's a good thing I love you right now, because this is the worst ever, most disgusting."
That sounds pretty awful.
So it sounds like you'd be a pretty good dad then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's happened more than once with kids too. Yeah, I mean that just happened.
Kids just throw up because they feel like it.
No, you can tell you have a really nurturing soul if an adult throws up on you and you still care for them.
Yeah. If somebody threw up on me, I'd be a little like, depending. If they were like just legitimately sick and then they threw up on me on accident, I'd be like, oh, okay, no big deal. But if it was just like, you're really drunk and you just threw up on me, it's like, I'm not happy about this.
Well, for the most part, how often are you so close to somebody that they can throw up on you, or like when, this happened because I was carrying her downstairs.
Right.
Yeah.
How often, like, is someone worst
could
that someone
projectile vomit on
I guess, but they'd have to run up to you and do it, and you'd have. I feel like you'd be able to get away.
If you guys couldn't get away and had to throw up on me, I wouldn't be mad.
I would.
Like,
I wouldn't appreciate it. I mean, worse, you could turn your head, right?
I understand.
I get it, I guess.
I mean,
But
if it's like a malicious, like, I'm going to attack you with my vomit.
Oh yeah, I'd be pissed. Don't fucking do that.
Well, I hate the
like a
idea of
shotgun.
running and trying to attack with vomit, because what if you run into your own vomit?
Oh,
and
yeah.
I
that
don't think
just,
you're going that fast.
backlogs into your. You don't know how
It'd
fast
be
do
even
you
worse.
vomit?
Yeah, it'd be like a drive-by vomit. That's like the worst fucking idea.
Dude, anytime I
Break
vomit-
yourself! And then it just goes in his face.
Not to name names out loud, but do you remember when we were it was one of the I don't even know if you guys were there actually. But we were at one of the parties at my house back when we were younger, and our buddy that we've all known for a long time ran outside and projectile vomited absolute vodka. Just like had chugged a bunch of it and then like ran outside and gotten sick and projectile vomited a bunch, and then was just like, fucking awesome, and then started chugging it immediately again.
That seems to be a reoccurring thing with Absolute Vodka.
Okay,
It really
so
is.
I didn't catch what letter your hand had done.
Yeah, I
but
drew a letter in the air.
I'm just gonna guess.
Uh-huh.
Is it our tall friend with red hair, or is it our shorter friend with red hair and glasses?
That's funny because it really, it could go either way.
It really could. I could see either one of those guys.
You're talking about long hair, the tall.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's him.
Yes.
That's the guy.
Oh, the video's over.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, we made it. To
We
the
made
end.
it through the whole.
We
whole
made it.
thing,
We made it
huh?
through the whole thing,
Talking
Oh,
about
wow.
vomit.
and now we've come full circle to The Crow.
Yeah.
Starring Brandon Lee.
Do you feel what? So what have we learned?
Not much.
Don't trust.
Don't vomit into the wind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually really good advice, though.
Don't vomit into the wind.
It's the moral of the story.
Well, we're back. We're not dead yet. Hope this was a fun welcome back video for you guys.
It might be the last for a while because there might be another hurricane, or it could be one in a series of many because we could hole up for the hurricane.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we all just come here for the hurricane.
That's fine. I only lost power for like 30 hours.
Yeah, be cool.
I didn't even lose water. Apparently this house the water still works when I don't have power. So yay, showers.
Apparently a lot of Savannah
Yeah, I guess
Still
because I
pretty
grew
good
up
when
in
it
the
comes
woods,
to
that's
water.
not a thing I'm used to. Maybe that's just a thing that's okay. Like when you have power, you don't have to worry about like
Yeah.
flushing your toilets and taking showers. But in the woods, that's not a thing. Like if
Right.
you don't have power, your water doesn't work. You can't pump your well.
That's fair. Yeah.
But you know,
Water pressure is forever when it's, like,
somebody say a joke.
from
Do I know any good jokes?
Let's see.
No,
yeah.
guess not.
I thought I heard a couple
Yeah, what have you heard?
the other day, but
You-
I
you-
can't remember any of them.
You hear that joke about that priest? You know what he did?
Tell me.
He walked into the bar.
Thought he would have saw it coming.
Nah, he didn't walk into the bar like a literal bar.
Got him.
It's not like a he didn't. He's got eyes. He's not the Pope that got black eye.
So a
Pope
priest,
got a black eye recently. That's
So-
it's not just a
Oh, really?
ramble.
The Pope really
Yeah,
got
the Pope got a black eye. I saw it on Conan.
Who punched the Pope?
I don't know. He subtitled it, but I think it was just a Conan joke because it didn't seem like something the Pope would say.
I mean,
It's a long story.
you could have got hit in the face with a baseball or something.
No, the priest walked into the bar. Inside, through the door.
Right.
Is the Pope there?
No. Pope's in the Vatican, I imagine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a priest is taking the bar exam.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. He's not a lawyer. What do you mean bar exam now? Exactly. Like, are you saying he's taking an exam in a bar, or
He's
are
taking
you
an
sa-
exam to be a bartender.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a bartender. Okay.
Maybe
no,
he
that-
wants to be a lawyer bartender.
Is that a thing?
I mean, let's see why you
Priest,
can't.
lawyer, bartender. This guy has a hell of a resume.
Yeah, he's the most interesting person I've ever met.
We've gone too far. The video's over.
For real this time.
Yeah.
Nah, I know, but you guys still haven't said any jokes.
I thought we were in the middle of a joke.
We are, but I was just waiting to see if you guys had any. I didn't want to, like, if you were going to say something really funny, I didn't want to interrupt you with my joke because, it's a really funny joke. And I don't want to, like, take the thunder away from you if you have something funnier that you want to say.
No,
Oh,
we're
no.
just. I thought we were all writing a joke together. That's
Yeah.
what I thought this was.
Yeah, that's what I was.
You were telling a joke, and we just started to go off on in wild.
Yeah, y'all were
circles.
just going off in tangents.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why don't you tell the joke?
Well, you don't have anything.
No, I got.
I thought you
got
were gonna tell the
nothing.
joke.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Tell a joke. I'm already invested in this fucking
This is the longest.
lawyer, priest, bartender guy.
All right, so look, the priest walks into the bar, and he asks the bartender, "Where can I go to get a haircut?" And the bartender says, "Across the street to the barber shop."
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
So the priest says, "Thank you," and he orders a whiskey, but he doesn't tell anybody. Like when he's telling the story later, he doesn't tell his friends because he doesn't want them to think bad of him.
Right.
Because he's trying to.
He's a priest.
He just started being a priest, but he thinks he can be good at it, but he's not really sure because he's never really been that religious, but also he doesn't have that much of a job. Like, it's just that thing, where he's trying to do good, but he chose priest because they needed a priest at his church, and his grandmother thought he might be good at it because he was really good at public speaking when he was younger, but he hasn't been to church since the last time that Easter rolled around, so he just feels a lot of stress, so he thought he needed the drink, okay? It's not that big a deal. He doesn't want to, be fucking judged by anybody.
If
He
this
just
is,
wants the drink,
if
okay?
this is his town and like,
Okay?
okay, fine.
It's not that
I'm
big a
gonna
deal.
let him have the drink, but how can he not know where the barbershop is if he knew his church needed a priest?
It's not...
It's not the same town, right?
No, it's a fucking city. He just said, where's the nearest barber shop so that he can go there after he has the drink.
So he didn't look to his left or his right, depending
No,
on
he
where he
went
was
to the
coming
fucking
from.
bar.
So he just walked into the bar directly.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Well, he drove there first, and then he walked inside.
does this barbershop
But
not?
you guys had to make a whole big shit about him walking into something literally that was a bar, so I thought we'd riff on it for a bit. But no, he just wanted his fucking drink, okay?
Now we're riffing on a riff. Does this barbershop not have a barber pole in front of it? Because it's like
So
a
he
dead-
walks into the goddamn
dead
barber
giveaway.
shop. he walks into the goddamn barber shop. And he sits down.
It's just the barbershop. He's a priest. It's not the goddamn barbershop. He wouldn't go there.
And he fucking sits down. And the barber, you know, he walks over to him and he has him remove his little, like, priest collar. You know, the thing.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's just a collar.
I think there's a word for it.
There probably is, but I hear them referred to as collars most.
Yeah.
Well, he takes the thing off and sets it down on the table. And he, like, he pushes the priest's shirt back and he lays him down. He puts the blanket around his neck. The barber asks him, and he says, all right, Father, how would you like your hair cut? And the preacher says, in silence. Good night, everybody.